Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 Hour News Show, and this is the segment that we were kind of waiting for.
Yeah, this is the much anticipated segment.
All right. So guys, air travel is one of the safest modes of transportation, but knowing how to protect yourselves from airport security all the way to the moment you land can make a huge difference in your travel experience.
You know, Rangga, I just realized when you travel, you sometimes travel by car, sometimes you travel by train and all that. The most time you pray is when you travel by plane.
I think that is true.
Right?
Exactly.
Because, I don't know, somehow it just takes off and then makes you jiggly. And
very much, especially in the moment of taking off. That's, I think I pray
a lot. That's right. So let's delve more into the topic. Joining us today, Indonesian Pilots Association Vice President, Captain Fauzie Ervhan Ardiansyah. Captain, thank you for coming by.
Welcome.
Thank you, Melia, Mas Rangga, for having me in this special event.
Nice to have you here.
Sorry for being late for 5 minutes.
You're not late.
Thank you very much.
It took the airplane to come here now, so there's no traffic.
Yeah, no traffic, but on the grounds, there is a lot of traffic.
Exactly.
It's a peak hours, or after office hours, so a lot of traffic from Cengkareng to...
Yeah, I heard you just came back from a holiday, South Korea.
Yeah.
Did you drive your own plane?
No,
Did you fly your own
I fully
plane?
sleep on the
fully
airplane
slept.
from Seoul to here.
So, okay, I just want to know from the perspective of a pilot, how does it different when you are sitting in front of the, the captain seat and compared to the one that's sitting, when you sit in the passenger seat?
It's a tough question, I think.
Do you think over, overthink?
It's a tough question, Leah, but as a pilot, it's an instinct. When you're entering the aircraft, it doesn't matter you are the pilot or not, but you're still aware for everything.
Right.
You must be looking around you, what else something weird, what else something. So you must be, it's a basic instinct as a pilot.
All right.
You'll be recognize something not normal.
Right, so as soon as you step on the plane, you tell what's
That's
missing,
my opinion. I don't know about the other pilots, but I think it's the same like them. It's a instinct of the pilot.
Right, so now if we take it to a different perspective, people like us, the passengers, we have no idea, because I, for one, never actually sat inside a cockpit.
Okay.
So for us to go into a plane, into a flight, what should we kind of look for, for making sure that, okay, that's supposed to be there?
The first thing is you should follow the flight attendant instructions.
That's a must.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they know how to do, how to react during the normal situation or during the emergency situations to direct the passengers get out from the airplanes.
Right.
Which way is safe, which way is not safe. So that's why all the travelers, especially the air travelers, please be attention. Please
put attention.
Right.
Pay attention for the flight attendants during the demo safety.
Okay.
How important is that? Because
That's
a lot of
important
people,
for you.
Because a lot of people, I realize, they don't put attention anymore because it's been like that, ever since you enter the aircraft. It's the same procedure, right?
Yeah, it's just the same procedures, but sometimes there is a lot of passengers doesn't want to pay attention anymore about the demo safety. Okay,
right.
But this is the most important things. There is about how to use the life vest, because adult life vest and the infant life vest is totally different how to use it.
Right.
And then seat belt. Sometimes it's just common seat belt, right?
Right.
But there is an extended seat belt for the mothers with the infants. They have to put the extended seat belt. You have to pay attention.
Right.
And then there is a lot of emergency exit.
Yes.
Not all emergency exit door. Some of them is emergency exit windows.
Right.
Oh, right.
And
you're right.
there is no flight attendants in the window emergency. That's why the flight attendants must be choose. We call it the able body packs. The passengers is able to help the flight attendants to open the emergency windows during the emergency.
Now I think that's very important if you're sitting on an emergency row.
That's why
that you can operate it.
I put on the lines. Please pay attention about the demo safety from the flight attendants.
Very important.
Yes.
Okay, so how does it differ? You've flown so many types of airplanes, right? So how do different aircraft models vary in their equipments and the safety equipment especially?
Well, all the airplanes is made by the manufacturers, has been approved by all of the around the world.
Standard.
Safety is
Number one.
number one. Safety is priority.
Right.
Okay, so any kind of airplanes, they have about, I think it's not too many difference between the safety procedures between other type aircraft with aircraft, but basically they are the same.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So there's no such thing as this type is
No.
more safe than
No.
the other one.
No.
Right.
No, no, okay.
No.
Okay. And also depending on maybe the sizes, is it the same or
Same.
the same?
Well, I tell you what about the emergency situations. Even there is a wide body, you have the Airbus A380.
Right.
They have a limitation for evacuation. The passengers with the 400 people must be less than 90 seconds must be evacuated. That's why
90
they, yeah.
seconds.
Okay.
That's the regulations from the ICAO.
Okay.
During the emergency, all the type of the aircraft can be evacuated, all the passengers less than 90 seconds. That's why the bigger airplane, they have a lot of windows, they have lots
That's a bigger task.
doors for the emergency exit.
Right, right. Now, speaking of safety, this is something that always talked about a lot.
Yep.
Which seats to choose? Now, not only that, I mean, we want to know also what kind of things that you actually have to understand when you're choosing seats. Whether the front one by the tip of the aircraft is, you know, safer.
Or is it closer to the pilot is safer? But I heard it's the back one the
Exactly.
safest.
Well, maybe there is a lot of rumors in the publics behind the very behind aircraft is a safe place, some things. But first of all, for the safety, you must pay attention about
Go back
safety
to that.
card,
Right, right.
demo safety card by flight attendants. There is a lot of safety card on each seat in the aircraft, right? You have to read that.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
You really
Now,
just have to be on your toes when you're actually on the plane.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, even though we, again, between the three of us here, especially for you, we've flown a lot, right? And like you said earlier, sometimes we just, you know, don't really pay attention to the flight attendants.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
They're actually trying to tell us.
It's happened lately in aviation, especially in domestic flight. Sometimes there is a lot of passengers that doesn't want to pay attention about the safety and everything.
Okay.
That's why this is the good event for me to tell the audience of the Southeast Asia Today News.
Yeah.
Please, for all the air travelers, pay attention with the flight attendants about the safety instructions.
all right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you remember at the end of during the very end of 2024, there were a lot of accidents regarding the airplanes, right? So this is the time where people needs to be reminded of the safety precautions that
the
passengers
safety-
need
yes.
to know. So if there are turbulences, Captain,
Yes.
like when we are in the flight,
Okay.
what would the passenger need to do?
Okay. During in flight,
Yeah.
it's just my advice to all the air travelers.
Yep.
Please wearing your seatbelt all the time.
Okay.
Even there is seatbelt sign is off, because it's your first safety. Because there is a lot of turbulence. There is a clear air turbulence that pilot cannot see. There is some moderate turbulence. Sometimes they just coming suddenly, then we cannot predict it. Please just be wearing your seatbelt all the time. Even the seatbelt sign is off.
Oh, so
That's my yeah.
So
Even pilot during in the cockpit, they cannot leave the seatbelt off.
Right.
They have to wear all seatbelt.
Okay. So
All
what,
the time.
What happened to passengers that are inside the lavatory? Like the toilet.
Yeah, there is no seatbelt there.
Exactly. So they need to get out as soon
They
as possible.
have to get out as soon as possible. That's why all the flight attendants give the announcement, please
Right, we hear that.
Yeah.
back to your seat, use your seatbelt.
Right. Right, right.
All right. Wow.
So in case of a turbulence, because sometimes, now I'm trying to remember my last flight, and sometimes we get that kind of warning. Prepare that we're going to go through such and such. Go back, please return to your seat.
Yeah,
and fasten your
yeah.
seatbelt. But sometimes, like maybe you're in your seat, you're just watching it, a movie. You don't have your seatbelt on, but then the turbulence just,
They just it happen.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
we call it's clear air turbulence.
Right.
The pilot didn't see in the weather radars. We have the equipments. We call it the weather radars. Now with the technology, the weather radar is so modern, so digitalized, easy to pilot to recognize which one is there is a big cloud there, there is no cloud there.
Right. Well,
But
minimized.
the one that I told you before is clear air turbulence. It still cannot see.
predict, you can't see.
okay. Could you guide us through turbulences? I mean, from just the mild turbulence and when maybe the pilots are still very, very calm and steady and, in control. And what happens, I mean, gradually happening to a worse one, let's say.
Well, I can give you 3 steps of the turbulence. Maybe light turbulence.
Light.
The pilot is still can confidence with that.
Yep.
And then there is a moderate turbulence. It depends. If there is a turbulence quite a long while, and maybe the pilot decided to go to the
Lower altitude.
altitude or maybe the highest altitude, then we can ask the controller there is any reported turbulence at the flight level that something maybe 35,000 feet.
Right.
We can ask the air traffic controllers about the turbulence report from other pilots.
Right. Okay. And these information are not given out to the passengers, right? Right. So we don't know what's happening. Right?
Yeah.
We don't.
So if the turbulence is quite long while, so we have to decide it for the pilot go down or go up. It's depend on the aircraft performance at that times. If the aircraft is too heavy, possibility we going down to lower altitude to get the more smooth air there.
Right. So this is very, again, going back, then we're talking about turbulences, then we're talking about being prepared. So if you're not wearing your seatbelt at any point during the
Turbulence time.
Can be any incidents. You can hit
you can
the
get-
ceiling.
you can be very
and
badly
yeah.
injured.
Yeah.
Which has,
This
I'm
happened
sure,
many
happened.
times, right? Last time I saw is about the Singapore Airlines. They made diversion to Bangkok, right? Because the
Oh,
turbulence.
just recently then?
Yes.
It was actually a week
Yeah.
ago or so. Right. Okay.
Yeah, there is a,
because of
it's
that,
a severe turbulence, I think.
So they
There is
can
a light,
continue
moderate,
like
and
that.
severe turbulence. Severe is we have to avoiding that one.
Okay.
It's that bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Turbulence.
All right.
All right. Now, you mentioned about how, the safety belts and the jackets as well, and then oxygen, right?
mask.
Later on, when there is something happening in the flight. So how can parents first prepare? Because what I've heard, you have to help the parents first. I mean, parents need to help
You
themselves
have to do your own first,
yes,
and then you help your kid.
and then you have your kids. So how can parents actually do that procedure to ensure compliance with the safety, precaution for
Because
any turbulences?
if the parents help the kid first during the decompressions, because loss of the oxygen can be rapidly, especially in the high altitude.
Right.
It must be only a second something.
In a split
So
second it
you
happens.
have to wear yourself
gotta
first,
get
then
yours
you can help
Help
the
the
kid.
children.
You cannot use the kid first, and then you're
Okay. It's gonna be too late.
gonna pass. You're gonna
And nobody will help your child.
nobody help your
Child's
child.
gonna feel left
That's the main reason. That's the main reason. You have to do your own first, then you can help the others. Same like the flight attendants. They cannot help the passenger first. They have to wearing
They
the
have to
oxygen.
do. Okay.
Because when they wearing first, they can help each other.
Is there any reason why you have to open the windows every takeoff and landing?
What kind of windows?
The windows, during takeoff and
In the cockpit.
in the no, in the passenger seats,
Oh, right. That.
right? In the passenger
The
seats.
window, the sliders.
Yeah, the stewardess and
Ah.
stewards would tell
Okay.
you,
Yeah,
okay,
they can't
open
be-
the windows.
They cannot be
because we're
closed.
going
You're right.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah. Why is that?
You know why? Because during day, it's easy for the flight attendants looking outside from all the windows of the passengers if there is a fires on the engines, on the left side or the right side.
safety,
Yes, if
issue
you
also.
close the window seat,
Nobody knows what's happening outside.
we cannot see.
I see. So it's safety.
Even night, they have to open as well. So easy for flight attendants in case emergency situations.
Yep.
They know how to direct the passengers go to the safest exit.
How is the line of communication between pilot and the other crew
In a flight with
in a
flight
flight? Yes, exactly.
We have,
Before distributing it to
each
the others,
airlines,
to the
we have
passengers.
we call it the operation manuals. There is the standard operating procedures maybe in Ireland is totally different between airlines this one with this one, but most of all we have to comply with the in Indonesia we call it the CASR, Civil Aviation Safety Regulations. Is making rules and regulation about the safety and everything, how to between cockpit and cabin. We have training mandatory, we call it the CRM, crew resource management, and we have to do it every years for recurrent. So that's why we have the standard operation. And then even the flight attendants, when we have to go to the cockpit, they have to call us first with the secret code.
Oh, so there is a code.
There is
a secret code.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes.
What does it mean? Nobody knows what it is.
Nobody knows.
Oh, we cannot know.
Only the pilot and the flight attendants. I cannot tell you guys.
All right, okay.
Now, speaking of turbulences already, now speaking of, you mentioned just now exit doors, right?
And windows.
So again, exit windows, doors and windows apparently.
Yes,
There's
doors and windows.
Those are two different things. We know that, again, let's say you said earlier that you have to pay attention to the flight attendants before you guys take off, and just to know what you need to do in certain situations. Now, I think, again, for at least the both of us here, we've flown a lot, so we kind of know when there's this, you make sure that you locate the nearest exit. But do you have any, I'm talking about maybe there's a tip to it in case there is an emergency or there's an emergency landing, because again, I've never, alhamdulillah, been in that situation, but I'm sure when you are in that situation, panic sets in, and you can't really think. So is there any tip on how to make sure that
panic
you're
is
still
normal.
calm?
Panic is normal.
Right, right.
Everybody have a panic, right?
Is it then again, like you said so many times in this 5-10 minutes, pay attention to your flight attendant?
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
That they're gonna guide you to the safe
that's only
spot, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there is a lot of equipment that flight attendant can use by flight attendants to direct the passengers go outside to the safest area of outside the aircraft.
Well,
During the emergency landing in the land
Water.
and the waters, they have some procedures.
all right. So what would you tell like the passengers when you have to do the emergency landing? Have you ever had that experience before?
Alhamdulillah, no.
No, okay. What would the pilot need to do in order to tell the passengers, all right,
For the
everyone?
emergency landing.
Yes, we are going to do emergency landing.
There is two types the emergency. Is a planned emergency or unplanned emergency.
Oh, okay.
I give you an example about unplanned emergency. Did you watch Sully movie?
Yes.
Yes, the one who
Captain
just
Sully.
crash landing in the waters
Right.
in the Hudson River.
Tom Hanks, yes.
Yes, that's unplanned, unpredicted.
Okay.
After takeoff, they just hit by bird strike.
That's
And then they lost both engines. They have to decide it quickly.
Right.
And then they landed, and miracle is they save all the passengers, even the that's a miracle.
unplanned.
That's a miracle.
That's the unplanned.
As a pilot,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's a miracle.
Yeah. So that's really risk
but
is high.
for the planning, we know how to do for the emergency safety and everything. So we have to discuss with the flight attendants how to direct the passengers. And everything. And then we call the air traffic controllers. We have the emergency situations. Maybe the air traffic controller will be asked for the pilot, do you need any assistance? Do you need the firefighters? Do you need anything? That is the plan. We have a lot of time. But unplanned, we don't have any time.
Right.
That's it.
Wow.
A lot.
It's getting more interesting. Okay, so Cap Fauzie, just stay there.
Yes.
For the next See the Stories, we'll continue after the break, and we'll still talk about the essential safety tips for every air traveler. Don't go anywhere.